of the hottest properties in Hollywood. Hit records, blockbuster movies like Men in Black, Independence Day, Enemy of the State, and a new wonderful movie, Wild Wild West. Will you welcome Will Smith? Well,
hey!
That lot gone, man. That's some. Now that's something you do, I'm told, when you go into the studio sometimes. Not when the show's on. You just go in and scream.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
What does that do?
It makes you feel good. Try it. Just one good time. Yeah, you feel good.
I heard something. Hang on. Now we get to the movie Wild Wild West. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yep.
Now I'm not going to run through the whole life and times of, but
No, really, let's.
you signed a
You have a lot of pillows. Did you
Yeah,
know
well, you could dump some. Yeah, throw a few out there, Will. Get rid of some ballast.
Yeah, just lots of pillows.
Right, now, you will stay behind and write line. Now, you signed a record deal when you were just a kid, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I was 16 years old. I signed my first record deal. It wasn't a good one. It wasn't
that right,
a
that
good one.
there was some shady character
he
with
was
a gun? Getting you to sign?
He wasn't saying that he was going to shoot us. No. You know, he wasn't saying that. He just had the meeting with the gun there. You know, let me just sit this here just in case. You know, but go on, sign your name.
So you thought, well, maybe we will.
Maybe I should just go ahead and sign my name. You know, it was a little shady, but it worked out well. We signed to a record company out in New York. They heard our first record, Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble. And you notice how all the titles like Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble, Parents Just Don't Understand. So you know that?
Little rebel there
yeah,
already.
Yeah, just a little, because I'm a rebel, man. I got to fight back.
Hey, Will, you came to London, though, didn't you, to make an album?
We recorded our first album in London, absolutely. You have a lot of information.
Well, I've been learning about you, see.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Are you trying to, start a rap career?
Well, I might, what...
You seem like you'd be like a hardcore gangster rapper, though.
So when you came over that time in your career, because that wasn't Will Smith Big Star, that was Will Smith Wannabe.
Yeah,
Did
right.
you stay in some poky little it wasn't Claridge's, I thought.
No, it was a nice hotel when we first came. We stayed in the Holiday Inn Swiss Cottage, and then we stayed there.
They call it the Holiday Out now since you left. But let me get to the situation that's going on right now. I mean, everything is just flying. You got a record in the charts at Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
You got this album which has done fairly well in America. Right? The premiere of the movie is today.
Are you coming, or are you just?
I'm going to go and see the movie.
See, there was too many. You should come to the premiere.
Here.
Oh, that's true. You got to be working. Yeah.
What do you play? What do you play in Wild Wild West? What do you?
I play James West, and I'm a secret government agent who was hired by the president to stop a madman, Kenneth Branagh, from taking over the United States government and then eventually the world with this weapon of mass destruction. He has a mechanical tarantula.
It's wild. It's like
really
James Bond, only in the Wild West.
Right, absolutely. It's like that. That's a really good description. It's like a James Bond, like a black James Bond in the West.
Yeah. that's real Will Smith. It's different. Look, let's have a look at this clip. I think in this clip.
You just spit. Did you see it? Did
Yeah,
you
I
notice?
did.
I mean, because you look like you were just going to ignore it. You know,
Yeah,
you just.
I was going to sign it for you and send it to your room. But this film...
Did you guys see? You saw it, right? You saw it. It flew out.
You see what
it was like? You know, he's sitting, he's talking.
Spit on... See what effect you have, Will. People just froth at the mouth. The thought of you. Family for you, it's very important. I noticed, I mean, right from the sitcoms and the work that you do, you've very much got the family in mind, haven't you? You're out there to entertain a whole family. I mean, there's hordes of young kids hovering around this building today. I don't know if you know that. And I think a lot of that comes back from your upbringing and your discipline from your mum and your dad. They were good when they were saying,
Absolutely. I mean, to me, it's always been really important to me to have family and to try to create work. Like with my records, I try to create records that parents can put it on in the car with their children and they can let it play all the way through and not have to worry about...
Or cough here and there.
Oh yeah, you know, try to cough them. You know, okay, no, oh, that was nothing, sweetie, that was nothing. You know, but to have work and to have things that the family can enjoy and, you know, just that's fun. And this film is really directed at children and there's big explosions and great mechanical gadgets and all of that, and it's fun.
The reason I'm talking about the family aspect was that I know your dad was always, because your dad kept you away from all of the dangerous things around drugs and things like that.
When
right?
I was growing up, I thought my father was like insane. My father was in the military, so you know we had to put hospital corners on the bed and we had to roll our socks up and all of that. And, you know, Dad, I'll be home at 0700. You know, so you know, so he was very military, very strong. So like. I never messed with drugs or anything like that because I thought he would literally kill me. You know, not like you saying, oh man, I'm gonna kill you. No, like for real. I thought he would kill me for real. Yeah, and what happened was peer pressure wasn't important to me. It's like when a friend said, oh man, you soft, you're not smoking this marijuana, you soft. Like, hey, I will be soft, but I will be alive and soft. So you can go on about your business with it.
You know you've got a son of your own, haven't you?
I have two sons.
Two sons?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
a 6-year-old and a 1-year-old. Yeah. Oh man, you better watch me. I'll make them quick.
So, are you passing on? Well, they're a bit early to give them that kind of information, but you're going to keep an eye on them and keep firm discipline on them?
Oh, absolutely. You know, the thing, what I do...
You're not going to put corners on the beds or anything like that?
No, I'm not going to take it that far, but the thing is, like, you just act crazy. That's what I do with my kids. Like, you just act like you're crazy, because that's all that you really have. See, my father actually really was crazy when we were growing up. So now I'll just, every once in a while, and it's great, I'm an actor, so when my son does something wrong, I go, what are you doing? Why are you doing that?
You scared me then.
See, it worked, right? Now you're going to behave yourself for the rest of the interview, right?
Hey, Will, is that right that you played golf with President Clinton?
Yeah, I played golf with Clinton. I played golf with Tiger Woods. I played golf with Jesper Parnevik the other day. You know, so that's my thing.
You probably do better against Clinton than you did against...
Yeah, there's the other guys, yeah. You know.
All right, now you could be president, you said. You said, you quote, if I can believe it, if I made up my mind, would be president, Will, in 15 years.
See, I'm glad you asked me that question, actually. You know, I feel that I possess the talent and the wherewithal that it takes to hold a public office. See, now, I'm going to give you a quick lesson, okay? Yeah. Now, pretend this is your audience, you know, your constituents, okay? Now, I want you to tell them that I will be president of the United States. Like, say it to them, but you have to point at the audience and tell them definitively, I will be the president of the United States. Like, try it.
Is this me telling them Des is going to be president? I'm telling them...
No, that Des is going to be. Okay.
If you vote for me, all the things you wanted, all the things you believe in, will happen.
Boo!
No.
I want the other guy. I don't know who it is, but I want to vote for the other guy. Come on, you got to be strong with it. You got to be strong. See, and the thing is, most people, when they point with their finger. That's a no-no. When you're president, you got to point with your thumb. I absolutely will be the president of the United States. See, it's strong. You see the fist? The fist is strong. You see that? Be the president.
Good fist.
And you do that on the words. I will absolutely be the president of the United States. Like you see? Like that.
So are you going to run for president?
I'm figuring, you know, I'm going to take 10 years. Oh, my God, there's a fly. You see the fly? Oh, jeez. Oh, man. I come all the way over here to see you and you've got bugs? No.
Are there going to be any sequels to Independence Day, Man in Black?
You know, people have been asking about it. I think that probably the most sequelizable film.
That's a good word.
It just hurts saying it, actually. Like Men in Black seems like the film that is most likely to be sequelizable. But you know, I don't like sequels because it's hard to make them better, you know, than the original film. Like
you're usually squeezing a drop more.
Yeah, you're squeezing. You know, we made some money. Let's get some more.
Muhammad Ali. Now here's this.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna
have so much information.
You're gonna play Muhammad Ali, the life story. About all right. I'm sure you got all the talent, but you still got. I mean, what are you?
Hey, now! Don't get me started now. Don't get me started. I'll show you. That was good. You just hurt yourself.
I just hurt my shoulder. What I want to know is you see the weight. How much do you weigh? What do you weigh at the moment?
Right now I'm probably right around 203, 204 pounds.
240.
He was 185 when he was younger. I would probably go down as Cassius Clay to play him around 18, 19 years old, and then go up to maybe 220, 218.
And you gotta, I mean, all right, we would clown around, but you've got to know how to punch and you're going to take lessons and training, or have you done a bit of that over the years?
I'll knock you out right now.
Oh, sure you will. And you say, Mr. Smith, it's all right by me. Will you float like a butterfly? Will you sting
like a bee? Absolutely. You know, the thing is, his life is so amazing, and I think that the younger children aren't aware of the things that he did in his life. He has a life and tests in his life of biblical proportions. Yeah. Amazing. It almost feels like you couldn't write it better than the way that it was lived.
Did you meet Muhammad Ali?
Yes, I met with Muhammad Ali probably about 6 months ago.
Did he have approval over the guy that's going to play him? I assume they would have asked him.
No, that was the thing. I went to him to see if he was behind the story, and he was really into it. And I sat down with him, and he looked at me. He said, "You almost pretty enough to play me." So that's the approval from the champ.
Now, I wish you have success with that. You do say, I've heard you say that, yeah, I'm quite happy the way I look, but I'm not too keen on my ears. I got sticky out ears.
My ears, see, the wonderful thing about ears is that people love them. People love, my ears stick out a little bit, you know, it's not
taxis with the doors open.
It's like a 1964 taxi cab with both doors sticking open. One of my friends said I look like a trophy. You know, with the handles. You know. But the thing about my ears is they're like a wonderful, wonderful aphrodisiac. Like,
really?
Yeah, my ears really, really turn women on.
Really?
You know, feel it.
Can I touch them?
See, now hold on. See, because then you're going to be calling me, you know, all the time. I'm going to get messages, "Will, this is Des. You didn't call me last night." But go on, I'll give you a single, you know. Go on, see.
Ding, ding. Yeah. No, you've seen this lovely guy. Isn't he lovely? Where's Smith? Where's Smith? Please welcome Sir Anthony Hopkins. Good to see you. Really is. They're happy to see you. I'm happy to see you.
Nice to meet you.
It's been 3 years we've been trying to get you. Well, longer, but the last 3 years we nearly got you, and you kept slipping out of the net.
Yeah.
Now, according to one of the newspapers I read yesterday, you are currently in Mexico and you're giving up acting. Which one of those is correct?
Who said I was giving up acting?
It was in the Express. It said that you are currently today in Mexico.
I'm going to Mexico, yeah.
You're going to do a movie
on Thursday. I'm doing Zorro with Antonio Banderas. And retiring? No, I'm not going to retire.
No, well, this is...
Where said that?
I don't know.
never believe what you read in the British newspapers.
Well, I'm very pleased you're here tonight because you could be sitting tonight.
I like the tie.
You like the tie?
Really?
Well, at the end of the show, you know, maybe you can have this. All right?
That's nice.
Yeah. You could be right now sitting on a beach overlooking the Pacific because you have a home in California.
That's right, yes.
So we're delighted you're here. It's a long way from Glamorgan.
That's right, yes. It's, the weather's a little better, but it's nice to be back in England. I have a house in Los Angeles, and it's beautiful.
You love America, don't you?
I love it.
I mean, a lot of people say, oh, they give us the stuff about, oh, it's fine for a little while, we'll get out of there. But
No,
you
I
love
like
it.
it. Well, it's always good to get back here. I mean, I love it back here. And I actually like the winters here. The only thing I miss in Los Angeles is the season, sort of seasonal change. But it's a beautiful place. I love the climate, and I love travelling. And I love
You've seen enough of the country. I read you get in a car. Is this right that you get in a car?
I get in the car and
put down.
That's right.
And you drive and drive and
thousands of miles. I did Texas in a day.
Texas?
Yeah, I did Texas in a day. I remember, because I have a map with me, but what I do is I stop in motels. And,
but just your ordinary no-star
just ordinary
motel?
motel, yeah. I get some funny looks from people sometimes to say, what are you doing here in Yakima or wherever I am? But anyway, I remember getting up in very early in the morning in Oklahoma City and getting on the freeway, and I was going to head across for Tennessee. And I saw these these signposts, you know, these road directions, and suddenly it said Dallas. And I thought, I was nearly killed actually crossing in front of a truck. So I thought I'll head down to Dallas this morning. It took me 13.5 hours, I remember. I cut right through, and I went down to Baton Rouge. Went right through Texas. And,
Are you saying you just followed your nose then?
Yeah, I do.
Follow the signs, see a sign, I'll go
That's
there.
right. I live freely. Spontaneously, they call it.
I'm
not going to retire, no.
No. I've seen pictures of you. I've seen a picture in one of the magazines of you sitting in that car.
That's right.
And you just got sort of a very casual shirt. And
That's right.
I mean...
It's Vanity Fair.
That's right, it was the magazine.
That's right.
That's what I was reading. In fact, I've been doing a lot of reading about you.
Oh, good.
Why do you
was it interesting reading?
It was very interesting reading. Why do you do it? Why do you get in the car? Why do you do that? What do you get out of that?
Well, I have a great zest for life and fun, and sometimes acting gets a bit, you know, I enjoy acting very much. I have a lot of fun with it. But in between jobs and between films, I like to take off, and because I'm very restless. And I like to go to different states, different towns, different cities. And it's always a kind of an adventure. I usually spend one night in one motel, and then next day so I never really know where I'm going. Oh. Last year, I went down to Texas, and it was so flat, I thought, this is very boring. I think I'll go back up, and I went up to Seattle, which is about 4,000 miles or 3,000 miles. Just like that, so I turned left. Shall I have that? Thank you very much. Tony Cooper!
You see, that's what, you've had a sensational success with your career. I mean, you've won Oscars, you've got a knighthood, and yeah, I reckon you could have been a comic. I think you're a frustrated comedian.
I admire comics more than I do. I saw you on the Morecambe and Wise show last week. They're my favourites. Morecambe and Wise, Tommy Cooper, Les Dawson, and you know, and I saw you on the...
Oh, I was mentioned a couple of times. On Morecambe and Wise.
You were in the firing squad. Do you remember that? You were on the firing squad.
I do.
Yeah.
I remember the Duke of Edinburgh once saying to me at Lord Tavern's do, he said, "You're the chap who's always on Morecambe and Wise." And I said, "Well, I'm not always on it. I get mentioned." And he said, "Oh yes. Are you really that bad?" Listen, where did this love of comedy come from? Did it? I'm told it started with your dad. Your dad was a bit of a character.
Well, my father was a very basic, down-to-earth man. He didn't like the airs and graces of actors, which I don't like either. But I remember when I was a little kid, he used to always be very worried about me because I was so stupid at school, and I was a plain idiot at school. And the only talents I had was to play the piano and write or draw and things like that. My father was a baker, and he worked hard all his life. And he was very, very basic. You know, he never really got carried away with anything very much. And when I was in the theatre, he would say, "Oh yeah," you know, he said, "Make plenty of money, be like Richard Burton," he'd say. But I remember once I was playing the piano, and I was playing Beethoven. I was a pretentious young kid, you know, playing the Beethoven Pathetique Sonata. My father came in from the bakehouse. He said, "What the hell are you playing?" I said, "Beethoven." He said, "No wonder you went bloody deaf. For God's sake, get out. Get out and do something with your life." And that has stayed with me all my life. My father reduced everything to its reality, to its bare bones. And that's my life.
I'm told I should ask you about the impression. Well, you just did a Tommy Cooper.
Oh, something like that. I went to the doctor. I said, "Get up on the table." I said, "What for?" He said, "I want to sweep up." He's my favourite. I said there the other night with my wife. Like that. No, it's like that, was. And she was there like that. No, she's like that. And I said, I'm feeling homesick. She said, but you are at home. I know, I'm sick of it. You laugh.
You do live a laugh. What about these? You've got apparently a very good repertoire of voices. People like. Whatever they said, ask him about a conversation between Laurence Olivier, John Gielgud, and Ralph Richardson. Can you remember any of that nonsense?
Oh yeah. Oh, for God's sake, shut up, Larry. So. Always going on about your ambition and your career. I had the most brilliant career. I think you chaps take it awfully seriously, you know. I was going to do my impersonation. Richard Burton.
Richard Burton.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, Elizabeth.
Where did all this love of... I mean, somehow you were playing piano and then suddenly you said, no, I want to act.
Yeah.
So when did that hit your mind? This from the... I should imagine going to the cinema or something when you were a kid.
That's right. I went to the movies. I saw Bogart movies and James Cagney, all those things during the war years and after the war. I'm that old. And what happened? That's why I was so useless at school. I was probably dyslexic or slow. I was just stupid, I think. And I had no inclination of what anyone was talking about. I used to sit at the back of the class like this. I was a complete idiot. You know, I wouldn't play, couldn't play sport, couldn't play rugby, couldn't play, which is terrible for a Welshman, couldn't play rugby. So about the age of 17, I joined the YMCA in Port Talbot, and I just ended up one night in a play. I walked into this rehearsal, and this man said, "Do you want a part?" So he gave me a part of a saint. It was an Easter play. And I ended up with one line. And as I stood up there thinking, this is not bad. It's better than working for a living. So that's why I became an actor. The funny thing is, it's been 40-odd years now. I've never felt I've belonged in the acting profession. I always feel like a glorious amateur. I've never actually, there are many better actors than myself who are technically superb and all. I've just been very, very lucky. And but what I am glad about, in a way, because I was pretty ill-versed in acting, the technique. I don't like talking about it very much. But what I've maintained, I hope, is a sense of fun about it.
Yeah.
And not to take it too seriously, because it's not comparable to the art of brain surgery, after all. It's only acting, you know.
When you were... When you were... You like the tie? You love the tie?
No,
you can have it, just like that.
Charles, thank you very much.
When you were...
I have another Tommy Cooper. Go on, go on. I went to the doctor.
You got another one?
I went to the doctor.
Go for it, go for it.
I went to the doctor. And I said, I've broken my arm in 3 places. She said, don't go there anymore.
One of the lasting memories for many people, I'm sure, thinking about you on screen, would be Hannibal Lecter. But for me, and I don't know why... For me, one of the scenes that always stays... One of the scenes that always stays in my mind is
I based him on Tommy Cooper, you know.
Pardon?
I based him on Tommy Cooper.
Did you?
I ate his liver with fava beans and nice caddy. Yeah, it did. Didn't it show?
Pardon?
You could see the influence of Tommy Cooper.
Oh, definitely, yes. How did you get that little thing with the teeth?
Just like that.
I still remember you. Don't ask why. I still remember you in the jacuzzi with Bo Derek. Do you remember that film?
No.
It was. It was a film called Change of Scene.
My wife remembers that.
But I want to know, man to man, just chaps talking. You know, you were in there, and it looked like. I mean, were you wearing your gym jams?
Yes, I was. Yes,
you were wearing your gym jams.
Yes.
You don't remember much about that day.
I don't remember.
You need a holiday.
I was on morphine. She was very nice, actually.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I was going to ask you in a serious vein, but you've given a comedic answer. you know, how much of you of input into Hannibal Lecter of the character? I mean, and what did you think when someone puts that on your desk as a script? Were you shocked at first, or did you know the story?
Well, I read it and I thought, well, this is a wonderful script, and I thought if they really want me to do it, I'm going to have a go at it. And I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I loved working with Jodie Foster. And I sensed that it was going to be successful from when I read the script. And somebody said, you know, are you sure you want to do this? I said, yeah, of course I am. And I hear there's a sequel.
I was going to ask, because they let him walk away at the end.
I hear this year.
Will you do that?
If it's a good script, yeah. Why not?
Why not? You should sit this close and get it.
The story is that Hannibal Lecter becomes a vegetarian.
This is the sequel.
And Clarice and I get married and live on beans.
Are you the kind of actor that takes the character home? Because you wouldn't want to take him home, would you?
Every night. No. No, I never take anything home, except the props. No, I don't. As soon as the day's over, or even after the take on, you know, is it coffee or lunch? That's it. Acting is pretending. It's that's all it is. It's people say, well, how did you play in The Remains of the Day? You were so contained.
You're very...
Yeah, I was so simple. I don't move very much, that's all. You know, it's quite easy. Acting it's that easy.
Is it that easy?
Yeah, well, yeah. They said, how do you play a butler? Well, it's just a good evening, sir. What more? A fool can do it. A child can do it. Say, well, thank you very much, sir. So how do you play a serial killer? Well, the thing about playing Hannibal Lecter is not to play him nuts. Play him very, very sane. Let the audience do the work. So when I see Clarice, I say, good morning, Clarice. So the audience is doing all the work for me.
Yeah,
I don't have to.
It's sinister, isn't it? It's
very,
back there.
That's right.
Some of the characters you played, I think they could describe as fearsome. We've had Nixon and now Picasso, which I saw surviving Picasso. It's wonderful. It's a strange thing sitting next to you, Anthony, and seeing the fun and the buzz of you. Yeah. These characters you play, some of them got the dark side, and over the years you've had your bad times. You've actually come out and been honest about it and brave enough to say it, and probably helped a few people along the way by saying it. Having had those bad times, the booze and all that stuff, has that helped you when you face one of these?
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel perfectly normal. I guess I am. I hope so. But no, I had a couple of bad times, but it wasn't that awful. I wouldn't have missed it. It was a lot of fun. Sometimes it got very bad, and in the end, I thought, well, this is killing me, so I better give up and stop now. But it was that. But I wouldn't have missed it because it's a part of my past. And but I've never had it so good. I'm living the best life I've ever known.
Have you put to rest some of that inner turmoil over the years? You found some peace of mind.
Yeah.
That comes with success, obviously, is it? Achieving what you set out to do.
Yeah, well, for example, when I got Silence of the Lambs, I knew that it was going to change things for me. And I thought, well, what's the point of worrying? You know, just take it easy. And as time goes by, you know, you get things a little more easily. I don't say I'm, you know, Mr. Calm all the time, because when I'm working on a film, I work very hard, you know, to get the thing right. But I try and keep it very, very light.
Keep getting it right. Keep getting it light. And keep coming back here.
Well, it's been wonderful.
Anthony Hopkins.
It's been wonderful.
From Notting Hill, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, and the new movie that opens today, Mickey Blue Eyes. Will you welcome Hugh Grant? Well, things are going great for you, and all the movies are flying, and we'll talk about the new one in a minute. But, you know, when we do these things, obviously we get little notes about you, little bits of research.
Yes.
And I've found 1 or 2 things about you, Hugh, that I didn't know. For instance, the school plays. You actually played the Julie Andrews part in a school play. You played Bridget Von Trapp, you?
No, the Julie Andrews part is, of course, Maria Von Trapp.
Of course.
And that's the part I wanted.
You wanted that?
Yeah, I was furious I didn't get it. I ended up playing the second youngest daughter, who is actually Brigitte Von Trapp. But I was...
Could you have managed... Dun, 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 dun. Have you got the voice for that?
Not as well as you can clearly do it.
It seems to me you were a game fella because you were at an all-boys school and usually you ended up playing the female leads. Why? Why you?
I don't know. Some boys are born like that. They like to dress in women's clothes, and I'm like that. I didn't know we were going to get that deep on this programme. But I don't know why. It was a boys' school. You know, it happens. And at that stage, I looked nicer than anyone else in the school.
You probably looked prettier then.
Yeah, I was undersized and in a white dress with a blue satin sash. I was lovely.
I want a signed picture of that. While you were waiting for your breaks to come along in the movie business, you wrote, this is something else I didn't know, found out about you. You wrote commercials. Was this radio or television commercials?
Radio, yeah. I used to write...
what products? What?
Oh, God, we did millions. We did... am I allowed to say products?
Oh, of course.
Oh, we did Red Stripe Lager, and we did Mighty White Sliced Bread. I don't know if that still exists.
No, I don't think it does.
You remember Mighty White Sliced Bread with all the goodness of brown but the great taste of white?
Did you do that? Did you write that?
No, we were given those terrible strap lines, and we had to write the 28 seconds that led up to it. And
well, that bread led to small rolls. Sorry about that.
I love a joke.
Sorry about that. Well, that's better than a long loaf. You did some stand-up comedy. You've been quite a lad. I mean, you've dabbled in a lot of things. With a group, wasn't there a group?
Yeah, it wasn't stand-up. It was a group. We were called the Jockeys of Norfolk, and yeah, we used to play in little pubs around London. Lots of people were doing it then. You know, Mike Myers of Austin Powers. He used to go Malarkey and Myers, and then the Jockeys of Norfolk. And
what sort of things would you do?
Well, they were sketches. It would be stuff like. We did a nativity play, but in the manner of an Ealing Studios comedy of the 1940s. So the angel Gabriel would come down and say to Mary, "Now look here, I've got some very important news for you. You're going to have a baby." And she'd say, "Are you tight?" And then, you know, all the shepherds would talk, "Oh, blimey, it's parky tonight." It was like that. So it was fun.
But you moved on. You moved on, and again a word which was new for me connecting with you. Yeah. You moved on to things you called Euro puddings.
Yes.
What are Euro puddings, Hugh?
Well, I mean, yeah, there was a phase in my life when... they don't make so many of them anymore, but, you know, it was like films with a Spanish director, an English cast, and an Italian, you know, Italian script or something. And the idea was that they would sell well in America. They never did. They were always... abysmal, and I did quite a few of them. But one of them I met Elizabeth on, so that has a special appeal.
So that was a saving grace. I hear there was some terrible dialogue that you had to dish out in some of those early movies.
I used to say things like, "Deep down in the lake, there is slime and weed, but when you look at the surface, you see only your own reflection. That is how you are, Mary." And I mean, it's rubbish. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. And I remember there was the Spanish director who spoke no English. He had to have a translator, who was the most tactless man I've ever met in my life. And the Spanish director would say something to the translator to say to one of the actors. And then this translator would come up and he'd say, "Gonzalo says, could you be less wooden?" And, you know, you don't say that to actors. It was horrible.
Keep them happy, you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just say you met Elizabeth in one of these Euro puddings, Elizabeth Hurley, your girlfriend. And she now is the producer. I mean, she's been a long time girlfriend. She's now the producer of the new movie, Mickey Blue Eyes. Right?
Yes.
Which is out. What's that about, and what are you playing at?
Well, it's a mob movie, really. It's a romantic movie, a romantic comedy involving the mob. I'm an English guy living in New York, working in an auction house.
So it's mafia we're talking, New York.
Yes.
Mafia.
Well, yes. I fall in love with this very sexy girl from Brooklyn, and everything's great until I discover that her father is a prominent juice man for the mob. Which, as I'm sure you know, is the guy who extracts money and favours and that kind of stuff. And it's about my descent into mafia hell, and it's a kind of Clash of Worlds film, Brit meets mob.
Yeah. Strange story that you thought at one time during the making of the movie that James Caan, who was in The Godfather, right, had a crush on you. That must be right, Hugh. Well, this is what the stories that come to me.
No, it's just because he's always given me such a hard time for being, you know, wimpy, and I'd wear a beautiful shirt on the set, and he'd say, "Why are you wearing a girl's blouse?" and all that. So I get my revenge by saying that I had the impression that, you know, there's a lot of hugging and kissing in mob films. Yeah. I started to get the impression halfway through the film that his hugs were lasting a little bit longer than they needed to. You know, it happens on films. It
Yeah.
happens. You know, you're in a very close environment, and these things can happen. And
Yes.
it's embarrassing. Yeah, I used to get back to the apartment and find him curled up in a ball outside my front door. And yeah, what do you do? What do you do? And then the poem starts. You know?
Step over him.
Yeah.
Change the subject. Notting Hill. I know you don't like going on about your leading ladies, but Julia Roberts apparently had an original way of amusing herself between takes with you. Is that right?
She was another actor, rather like James Caan, who didn't have enough respect for me, I didn't feel.
No?
And yeah, she used to loosen me up by pulling my hair and tweaking my nipples and giving me... Tweaking my nipples, which is,
Really?
you know, it's fine. I took it well, but I thought it was unfair because it's not something I could really do to her, you know.
No. I don't think you could have done that. Very British of you to refrain.
Yeah.
Could you know it's all happening for you, or would you plan or ever think about moving to Hollywood, living there?
No, I don't think so. I'm not crazy about LA, I must say. I feel increasingly English. The older I get, the more and more English I get. And flying back a couple of days ago, I can't sleep on the plane just because I'm so excited to be back. And I know any minute now I'm going to have a toffee crisp, you know. And
and watch Fulham play.
And watch Fulham, yeah.
Some actors pretend they don't like love scenes. I get the it's just another day at the office.
Yes.
That's what they tell me. But you're quoted as I think you said, kissing strangers. These are your words, I think. Kissing strangers is somewhat of a turn on.
Yes, although you have to be careful. You can't just walk down the street and start kissing people. I've done that, and it's...
I was referring to the movie.
Yeah, no, I mean, people, yeah, actors always with these questions say, oh no, it's just business, you know, and you're under the lights. But I find it quite erotic, really, and strange. I mean, what's really weird is in Mickey Blue Eyes doing love scenes with very beautiful Jean Triplehorn, and having Elizabeth standing just out of shot, saying, go on, make it dirtier, go on. Put your tongue in. And that's really odd, yeah. That's the nearest I've ever come to a threesome, and I quite enjoyed it.
It seems to me there's a natural... This is where all that experience years ago doing the comedy lines is going to come into play. And you're going to concentrate more on comedy now, aren't you? The light romantic, the kind of Cary Grant, David Niven... roles.
Yeah, I think, well, you know, I think if I have a place in the business, it's when there are a few laughs around. And Mickey Blue Eyes is, well, it's just a plain funny film, and I slightly pushed at least my own envelope in that. I'm doing things I haven't done before, like I take my clothes off and massage my buttocks in one scene.
Really? Steady, girl, steady.
Who said wow? Was it you? Yes. I'm sorry.
It's quite all right.
You know, my mum has to come to all my interviews, and
Sit still, Mum.
It's no, but it was, and it was you know, it makes you nervous when we put the film together. We thought, my God, should we take this scene out because maybe an American audience will be revolted by Hugh Grant taking his clothes off and massaging his buttocks. And then in the second preview, we did actually put it in, and they really loved it. And I developed rather a taste for it. In fact, I'm doing some videos on the side. That I think you might like.
Now then, I know you're doing some more comedy. There's another movie in the pipeline. You're going to star in a Woody Allen movie. Is that right?
Yeah, well, I've just done it, actually. I
You've
just did my bit. I'm not the lead part. I'm a kind of medium-sized part. And it's pretty riveting, actually, you know, because he's been a massive hero of my life, Woody Allen. I don't know, I've only had 3 recurring celebrity dreams in my life. I'm afraid one of them isn't you. Maybe, as from tonight, it might.
I'll accept this disappointment with the...
But one of them was always Olga Korbut, the gymnast.
Oh, yeah.
One was the Queen, and one was Woody Allen. And so it was quite weird to suddenly, you know, wake up.
That's a weird combo. I mean...
well, it's very weird when they get mixed up as dreams do, you know.
I can see Woody Allen there with a score sheet and the Queen doing somersaults.
Yeah, that's right.
And Olga trying to catch her. That's weird. Why? Serious? You're being serious about this?
Yeah, I have had that. I don't know why those dreams keep recurring and recurring. In fact, I was telling this story on the radio in Atlanta in America a couple of days ago. And it was a phone-in radio show. And with questions for me. And who should call in but Olga Korbut, who now lives in Atlanta.
I thought you were going to say the Queen.
No, alas. But she might call in after this, you never know.
She might. A lot of people are going to see the movie, so they should. Will you thank Hugh Grant, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you, Hugh. Thank you very much. My next guest is one of the stars of the sensational new movie Evita. He's a real heartthrob for the 90s. And when I told my cleaning lady he was going to be on the show, she nearly dropped her bucket. Antonio Banderas. Well, it's nice to have you here. It's not as warm as Spain or LA, I shouldn't think. Nice to have you here.
No, it's not. It's
you
not,
just,
but it's still beautiful anyway.
You just finished this movie, Evita, with Madonna. How'd you get on with Madonna? Fine?
Absolutely. She was absolutely committed to the character, pushing everybody to work very hard. And I think this is going to be a turning point in her life. It's a very...
People will look at her in a different way, won't they? They'll start saying, hey, this girl really does do the business.
I think so. I mean, I don't think she has been on the big screen in the way that she is in this movie. It's very, very interesting to see that performance. Special.
In Evita, who do you play? Which character? It's Che?
I play Che, but it's not Che Guevara like in the theater performance, in the theater show. Che is a guy with a very strong political and social principles that is completely creates a conflict with the character of Eva Duarte in the movie, and it's kind of the story of Eva Duarte through the point of view of this cynical, ironic, and sometimes funny character that I play.
It's and after one last question, then we'll move off of Evita and talk about other things in your career, and there's plenty to talk about. Right. Did she swear a lot, Madonna? Off screen, she does get a bit wild. I mean, she calmed down since the baby?
Everybody swear. This movie was done with sweat and tears and blood and a lot of things, you know.
Because she's had the baby, and your wife's just had a baby too.
Yes.
Yeah. So how old is the baby now? How old is
the baby's waiting for me in the green room.
You've got the baby here? Oh, we should brought the baby out. What's her name?
Stella del Carmen.
Yeah. And is Melanie back there?
Yeah.
Oh, you did the interview. I'm going out to see her. Oh, I don't know that. She could have come out here too. Let's talk about other things in your career. I mean, how did you lived in Malaga?
Right.
Now, how did a boy from Malaga suddenly get to making movies? So it was a big jump. Not many from there do that.
It was 22 years jump. I started when I was 14 years old, working in theater in Malaga. And after I went to Madrid, I was working with the National Theatre for 6 years, started doing movies there.
Did you ever want to be a footballer or a
in fact, I wanted to be. I am still a fan, a soccer fan, a football fan, and but yes, I wanted to be a soccer player.
Never a bullfighter?
No, too risky. Well, now that I am doing this profession, probably it's more risky just to be an actor than a bullfighter.
Let's talk about the Oscars, because they played quite a part in your life. There've been quite a few. I mean, you met Melanie at the Oscars.
It's true. We were not introduced. I remember that I saw her for the first time.
Across a crowded room?
Yes.
Was it one of those?
Yes.
What happened?
Well, I saw her. I admired her as an actress before. Yeah. She was nominated that Oscar Award for Working Girls, and we were nominated for a Best Foreign Film, Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, and we both lose. So probably that meant something.
And yours, you were saying that you met Carl Malden, was it? At the Oscars? Well, we heard about this. Someone said, ask him that. Where did you meet him?
Where I met him in the bathroom.
Has he got a big nose? Yeah. He really has.
He got a big nose, and let's stop there.
Yes, I think you better stop there.
Yeah.
What's this about? You're going to make Zorro? You're perfect for that, aren't you? Have you been practicing Yeah, you're a good-looking guy. He's perfect for the Are you going to do the fencing? Are you going to do all that stuff?
Yes.
Do you have to have special lessons and things for that?
Yes, I've been preparing that for 3 months now with the horses too, working with the horses too.
Had you ridden before?
Yeah, but not in the way that I have to do it now. It's a difficult deal and very, very dangerous sometimes. You know?
When are we going to see that?
We're going to see that probably in Christmas next year.
Well, you know, Mel is a very successful actress, and here you are on the brink of some real big stardom. How will you work out when she's got a movie and you've got a movie and a baby? That's not going to be easy. It's going to be, you know, difficult. But I suppose that's what the business asks of you.
We have kind of a commitment in which when I am working, she's not working. When she's working, I'm not working, because, I mean, we have been in this career for a long time now, and we don't want to repeat all mistakes, and I think we should be together. A family should be together, and
Absolutely.
That's what I'm doing.
Have you got an ambition, one role or one type of part that you say, I'd love to do that? I mean, they're coming your way anyway, it would appear. Or you just look at them as they come in?
No, yes, I have ambition, but my ambition is not a character, it's not a special movie. It's just someday to become the actor I want to be.
Yeah. Maybe do some theatre? Would you do that?
I would love to do that. I did theatre a long time ago, but now I'm pretty scared to go back to the theatre.
Well, that's it. One go, no retake.
It's 9 years without, you know, stepping on the stage, and made me feel chills all around my body. It's difficult just to confront the audience every day. That's a different kind of deal.
I've no doubt that your wife and the baby girl is very proud of you. Your dad will be proud of you. Is he still a policeman in Malaga?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Well, we
Has
are
he
now
become famous? Is that, hey, look, that's Antonio's dad?
She speaks pretty good Spanish too now. And basically we established our life in Los Angeles and in the south of Spain. And I understand you visit the south of Spain
Yeah,
too.
I love to go down to Marbella and all that, yeah.
Marbella,
Get my tan topped up down here. You got a house down there?
Yeah.
I'm going to knock on the door, ask for a cup of sugar.
All right, you can do that.
It's been lovely having you here. Every success. I'm sure Evita's going to be a smash. Antonio Banderas.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
My next guest is a Hollywood actor who started over 30 years ago with Walt Disney. He always turns in a competent performance. He starred in dozens of movies, the latest of which is about to be released here in England. It's called Tombstone. Will you welcome, please, Kurt Russell? I said that it was over 30 years ago you started. I mean, you don't look old enough to have been acting. How long? 33?
Yeah, 33 years.
You don't look old enough to have been acting for 33 years.
You need glasses, Dad.
No, even at this. Well, let's put it this way: you must have been a very young kid when you first walked onto the set for Disney.
I started a few years before I went there. I was 9 years old when I started, and I think I was 12 or 13 when I went to Disney for the first time.
What were the first movies you did?
First movie I ever did was with Elvis Presley. It was called It Happened at the World's Fair, in 1962.
And you met Presley?
I kicked him in the shins. Yeah.
What?
He gave me a quarter to kick him in the shins. He wanted to go see the nurse. I forget who the woman was that he wanted to be with, but.
What do you mean? He was sending you a catalyst to sort out a date?
Yeah, exactly. So I was being used, you know. So I took a quarter and kicked him in the shins, and I spent a week in Seattle at the World's Fair, and I got to work with Elvis Presley.
Let's talk about this new movie. This new movie, Tombstone, where you play Wyatt Earp, right? Are we going to learn something new about Wyatt Earp?
It's been interesting. It's opened in America, and I'm just found out today that they want to do an article on Tombstone being the surprise hit of the year. It's a picture that many had hoped would sort of disappear because there was many of these projects around, a lot of different westerns being considered to be done. The ones that would, of course, drop away would make it easier for the ones that were going to be done. The interesting thing about this movie is that never before there's been many movies done on Tombstone, Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday. Never before, for some reason or other, did they ever choose to do Wyatt Earp just as who he was and Doc Holliday just as who he was.
There's a descendant from Wyatt Earp in the movie, isn't there?
I had great help in being able to play Wyatt Earp. When I played Elvis Presley, I had a lot to research. I had a lot of material to pull from. But the greatest thing was being able to see things for myself and hear him. But of all things, I think I used my memory probably the most. I could remember him. With Wyatt Earp, I wanted to play him as he was. I wanted to do the same thing. I wanted to capture the essence of the man. I could do everything but hear him. And what was great with Wyatt Earp III was that he could tell me stories that had been handed down that could give me a sense of what he sounded like and the cadence of his voice and the quality of his voice. So he was a great help to me personally on that show. And this is, I mean, for better or for worse, this is who Wyatt Earp really was.
It's probably a strange coincidence that your son
Yeah,
is
it just
called
is.
Wyatt.
Yeah, I have a 7-year-old son named Wyatt. So I just has nothing to do with anything. I mean, he was born 7 years ago, and I had no idea I was going to do this.
Now you and the lady in your life, Goldie, and just in case anybody doesn't know, you and Goldie Hawn have been together how long now?
We've been together for 11 years in February.
How did you meet?
We met, the first was at Disney's. It was Goldie's first movie. I was under contract at Disney at the time. It was called The One and Only Genuine Original Family Band, and it was a musical, 1966. And I remember seeing this sort of cute blonde warm-up, you know, and wished I'd had a license so I could drive and ask her out, but I couldn't.
How old were you?
I was 15.
What? But obviously it must...
Well, I thought she was cute, you know. I really
she's
did.
cute.
So time went by, and then later we met on Swing Shift. And it was a movie that we did in 1983 about World War II, sort of Rosie the Riveter story. And we met on that picture and have been together ever since. We're still having a good time.
Is she as scatty as she sometimes?
She's great. I mean, she really is. She's pretty dizzy. But she's pretty smart too.
Oh yeah, well she's producing stuff as well.
Yeah.
What happens, because we have 2 movie stars in the family here. Supposing you've been offered a movie in Germany and she's been offered a movie in Hawaii, and of course, how many children are there altogether? You have...
Yeah, 4 altogether. One of our children lives, my oldest son lives with his mother
So
now
that's
in New
okay.
York. In 11 years so far, we've been able to avoid that, and all I can say is that we've been fortunate, and we've been pretty picky about what we've done, and I've tried to work around Goldie's schedule, and it's easier for me to do that than it is for her to work around mine, because as a man, you receive more screenplays, you read more.
Is that a fact?
Mm-hmm. Just is, yeah. Yeah. And I don't know, my outlook on the business has been that I think it's been a great provider for the family, and it's provided us with a lot of wonderful things to do. So
You do
know,
some wonderful things. You go, I'm told, on cycling holidays together. I mean, do you really put those lycra shorts on and the crop top?
Yeah,
The thought of Goldie turning up at a British pub saying, I'll have cheese and pickles.
Yeah, and it's fun. We take the kids and go for 10 days at a time.
On your own? There's not a Cadillac behind waiting for her?
No.
What would you do if you got a puncture?
They teach you how to fix it, you know, and I'm pretty good with that.
You do that?
Well, we all learn how to do it. We've gone to, we went to Brittany, and we went to Burgundy on a little wine tasting bicycle trip.
Sounds good.
No, it wasn't bad. And Goldie's been to Germany. Goldie's a pretty serious biker.
Serious biker?
Yeah. Serious biker girl. She's a good athlete, and so we take the family and go.
You're a good athlete. You do all these things, and you do all your own stunts. I know you nearly got set on fire. What movie was that? That was,
Backdraft. Yeah, that
and
was really rough.
yet you always seem to back off if there's a boudoir scene, a bedroom scene. You seem to...
Well, yeah, I don't know. We all have things that we're good at, and we think that we don't like to show what we're not good. No, bedroom scenes are tough.
Apparently you were offered the lead in An Officer and a Gentleman, or that could have...
Yeah, what happened there was I spoke with the director. They wanted me to do that. Taylor Hackford was directing it, and I asked him at one point, I said, how far are you going to go with these sex scenes here, Taylor? And he said, just a little beyond the point of bad taste. And I said, that's a little too far for me. But
You're a sweet old-fashioned boy.
Well, I just do think, as an actor, I really don't like to be caught faking it. So I don't try. And we all know that when there's sex scenes, they're just flat out faking it, and the actor's sitting there, might as well turn to the screen and say, "Yeah, I'm faking it." You know, so I try to turn the scene into something that looks like we're not faking it, and if you're gonna have a sex scene and you're not gonna make love, then you're gonna fake it. So I prefer to either try to find something that is going to be more integral to the screenplay to move the story along. All that is probably just a bunch of talk for being too chicken.
I don't think I've ever asked this to, when we've had a lot of movie stars, I don't think I've ever asked if Goldie was involved in the scene, or if you were, would either of you go to the set? Could you watch?
Well, we did one together in Swing Shift.
Yeah, but that's different. I mean, if you've got to be, if you were in a steamy scene with some gorgeous creature, or vice versa.
I only remember one time. Actually, we don't. I remember one time she was doing a scene with Mel Gibson in Bird on a Wire, and I was off stage watching, and all I could think about was that there was something that didn't look. One of them didn't look very committed, and so I said, come here. I said, you got to tell him to kiss you. I mean, he's not.
You did that?
So I guess that when you're doing that, because it's just acting stuff, I always look at it and say, I look at it with the eye of like a director or an audience, and I say, come on, I don't believe that. You got to,
Not convinced.
And so I guess what I'm saying is that when Mel kissed Goldie, I didn't believe it for a second.
You played Elvis in a movie. You got some splendid reviews for that. What about the vocals? Can you sing? Did you sing? Or was
No, it was done by a man named Ronnie McDowell. Yeah. As a matter of fact, they say that's one of the great pieces of tape in existence somewhere. I used to say to the mic, to the sound man, kill the mic here, because I've got to make some kind of noise. But I have to do something completely different to make it look right. So he'd always kill the mic, and then I'd do the lip syncing to whatever the song was, whatever I was doing. And they said one day they went to Daly's and he didn't kill the mic. And they said that there I am, as Elvis, just like a scream, it's really bad. And they said it's a great piece of tape that somebody's harboring somewhere. I'd like to see it sometime.
They probably play it at parties.
Yeah.
Could you do the movements?
Well, when I was doing it, it's an interesting thing. People have always, they ask me now, they say, gee, come on, can you do Elvis?
Yeah, come on, can you do Elvis?
Yeah, you can't, Sorry to disappoint. I said, yeah, you got that. Good. That's about it. It's funny, when you're going to play a part, you're getting paid to do it, and you suddenly panic, and you say, I've got to get into this and do it, and your brain clicks in, and you go to work. And then the day it's done, it's gone. It's done. It's over. I could no more do that now than, it's like Goldie was saying, she doesn't know how to do The Girl in Laughing anymore. She doesn't even know how to find her voice. It's just
it's right at that time. You
concentrate, you do it, you blast through it, and the minute it's done, boom, it's gone. I mean, for Wyatt Earp, I shaved that mustache off, and I've just gone. He's gone.
33 years. 33 years. All those movies still in demand. How do you keep sane? Through Hollywood being one.
Yeah,
not many people, first of all, last that long
it's
in
a
a
long
movie
time.
career.
Yeah, it is well in that business.
But you have a good attitude to it. I mean, you don't take it too seriously.
My dad was an actor.
It's a job, isn't it?
Yeah, my dad was an actor. He did. He played the Sheriff Clem on Bonanza for 14 years, and I used to just see my dad go to work and come home. We had things paid for because he was an actor. Seemed like a good job. So I early on wanted to buy some bicycles for my sister and myself, and asked my dad what you could make doing that, and he said, call my agent, see if you can't get a job. And I called his agent. Yeah, I was 9.
Of course.
So I had a paper route, and I said, well, there's got to be a better way than this paper route.
From the paper route to the movies. Are you listening, kids? This is how you do it.
Yeah, and I started. I went on interviews and finally got a job. First day I worked, I had enough money to buy those bicycles, and I called his agent back up, and I said, count me in. This is good.
Well, keep doing it.
I'll try.
Let's hope you never end up delivering the papers again.
Well, you don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, good luck with Tombstone. Kurt Russell.
Thanks
Thank you, Kurt.